I get a lot of questions about numerology, and numerology has a long history in this world. We can actually trace it back to Pythagoras in the 5th or 6th century BC. He is really considered one of the most widely recognized, or the father, or maybe it's the instigator of numerology. However, the Indian or Hindu, the Vedas, they were actually a little bit before Pythagoras, and they promoted the study of numerology as well. They believed that the numbers actually influenced your personality and destiny, just as Pythagoras did. Now, the Tibetans also came in with numerology, but it was much, much later. I dated it back to 1037 AD, not BC. And they developed a really different type of system. They all have the core numbers, however, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. The core numbers in all three of them are about the same, so we're going to use Pythagoras instead of the other methods. Now, the 5 different core numbers are: 1, your life path number, which is your mission statement, your purpose, or your life test. 2 is your birthday number. That's your talents, your gifts, or your life force. 3 is your expression or destiny. That's your soul's potential. 4 is your heart's desire or your soul urge, and that's your soul's yearning to fulfill something, and it also carries a past life indicator. And 5, your outer personality number. And that's your personality characteristics, or the way you represent yourself in the world. We're going to go with Pythagoras, so I just want to make that clear. This can also be found in our book, Double Digitology. There's a number system, 1 through 9, and there's a chart in Double Digitology, but we're going to show you the chart here so I can explain it, okay? So you've got, across the top, you've got 1 through 9, and then you just write the letters of the alphabet down below them. So 1 would actually be A, J, and S. Got that? 2 would be B, K, or T, and so on and so forth. You can get that, or you can see them in the book, Double Digitology, or really any numerology book. So now that you've got that underway, let's go into a little more detail on those numbers. The life path is found by reducing your birth date to a single digit. Like February 10th, 1976 would be 2 February plus 1, the 0 doesn't count anything, plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 6, which all equals a 26. Then you add those two together, the 2 plus the 6, which equals an 8. So your life path, if your birthday was February 10th, 1976, would be an 8. Now the life path or life force number reflects the challenges that might appear in your life. They represent the patterns that you get the opportunity to experience, relish, enjoy, or overcome. It also represents the overall potential of the person. To some numerologists, the day of the birth is also very important, like in February 10th. That would actually be a 1, and that would represent your innate talents that one has for the skills in their life. They are all meant to complement the challenges, obstacles, or lessons of your present incarnation. You would also have your personal year added into your birth date. Like your personal year is the present year and your birth date, like February 10th, 2024, which is when this is recorded. So that would be 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4, which equals 11. So in this year, 2024, your numerology influence is an 11. Now, the next core number is your expression number, or your destiny number. And that is found by adding all the letters in your name together. And most state that you should use your birth name first, because that's the name that you chose when you came in. For instance, the name D.D.K. Herman, it would all add up to be a 60, which reduces down to a 6, which is harmony in your material possessions and giving new birth to a project. This represents your soul's aim, the path that you must walk, and if you push against that path, there will be frustration and disappointment through your life. Now, normally, one would use the birth name as what they would choose. Now, if you change your name, I recommend doing the numerology on it before you commit to it, because that's what you would want to do. This placement can also show physical and mental constitution, as well as talents, skills, abilities, characteristics, and yes, shortcomings. Now, the next core number is your heart's desire number, or your soul urge number. And that's found by adding all the vowels in your soul's full name together. In numerology, the Y is actually considered a vowel and a consonant. Now, that depends on the sound and how the placement is in the word. To some, the vowels have no ending sound or no abrupt sound. A, E, I, O, U, very soft sounds. The consonants usually have an abrupt sound like B, 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 T, 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 or K, K. So that's an abrupt sound. So when there are more vowels in the name than consonants, that would represent a person who is more open to one's heart's desire, or more open to the energy that is coming through to them. When there are more consonants, that would represent a little more closed energy, maybe even a brusqueness or an ungraciousness of one's personal heart's desire or soul urge. So in D.D.K. Herman, the soul's urge would be a 6. So that heart's desire would always maintain peace, harmony, and be particularly concerned with their material possessions. Now, the next core number is your outer personality, or your expression number. That represents how you share yourself in the world. It's followed by adding up all those consonants together. And to some, the consonants represent protection against someone seeing inside. So again, if you have a lot more consonants in your name than vowels, then are you trying to protect yourself and have a difficult time getting close to people? This can also show up by how a person perceives themselves. They may be more cautious in forming trusted relationships. D.D.K. Herman would be a 9 in her outer expression or personality. So she would be ending a cycle of misrepresentation or self-fulfillment. Or you can look at it in another way. She might either be ending a cycle without friendships because she was unable to allow anyone to get close to her. And then she's changing that and moving into an energy of starting new friendships, and that she still might have a little trouble trusting others and their energy. So keep that in mind when you're looking at new names for yourself. Numerology plays a definite part in the interpretation of who you are and how you represent yourself in the world. If you would like to find out more about numerology and Adironda's twist on the numbers, please pick up our book, Double Digitology. That checks out all the numbers. It gives you the grid, how to figure all of your core numbers, and it tells you a little bit about Adironda's twist, which takes into account the shape of the number. Who knew? That's all for this week. Namaste, y'all.